When Ghazghkull Thraka brought his third siege to Armageddon, of course, the Death Corps of Krieg were some of the first to volunteer to throw themselves into the frontline trenches. Today, we recreate the defiant stand of the 642nd Death Corps of Krieg Regiment, who were some of the unlucky fellows to first engage Ghazghkull's third Waaagh. Will the Krieg hold the line against these overwhelming odds, or will Ghazghkull finally gain a foothold on Armageddon? And as always, if you do enjoy this content, do leave a like and consider subscribing, as that's the best way to support the channel. Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, kicking off today's slaughter as Ghazghkull's forces make their way towards our Imperial lines. The Death Corps of Krieg here with a massive network of trenches and defensive systems, as you can see here. They've basically got loads of support lines here. There's two networks in total. There's one over there, and there's this one over here, which reaches all the way back to their artillery lines over there. Will the Death Corps be able to hold the trenches against this massive force of Ghazghkulls? As you can see, the choppers here now already engaging the Corps, who are stuck outside of the trench here, but they're going to hold their ground as orks take monumental losses. The Imperial artillery in the background just raining down death upon them. Look at the poor old choppers here, just taking monumental losses, trying to surge forward. Only 5 guardsmen have died so far, coming up to 70,000 orks. So far then, it seems like a successful defense, but once these ork bodies start to pile up, the orks will get closer and closer. But for now, this Imperial firepower is keeping everything at bay. The orks are being gunned down, jetpacks and all. Oh my god, look at that. Some of them getting sent through there. You can tell that was the Lehman Russ tanks there sending out their artillery shells. Gosh, yeah, the orks really do get thinned out right before they hit the Imperial line there. But let's go over to here, where a lot of the line has been left undefended on the far right. You can see that the orks are taking advantage of this, but the bodies are really starting to pile up into the trench here, as well as all the blood. It's starting to pool up. But the guardsmen are still holding here. The orks really are pushing this flank very hard at the moment. Look at those poor guardsmen down here. Oh my god. How can he even tell what's going on at this point? That is just an absolute mess. Can you imagine being on these front lines, ladies and gentlemen? Just point blank having to deal with these orks. That seems like a horrific fate to me. The trench is now starting to really fill up with orks as the fighting spills over in between the lines. The orks outflanking the guardsmen now, pushing round across the other side of the trench line. Let's go back along the centre here. Oh, it looks like the... oh no. Oh no, a lot of Kriegsmen have drowned in ork blood. That is really unfortunate. But it does look like the orks have managed to push and clear out this bunker and are now pushing around the outer edge right into the front line of these Kriegsmen. The Kriegsmen still holding firm though. The artillery providing invaluable support here. Most of the line is still holding, but the orks have definitely got a little bit closer now. Like I said, all them bodies piling up, just the sheer weight of numbers of the amount of orks that have been thrown at this. Yeah, they have lost almost 400,000 units though now. It is getting kind of ridiculous. The blood will start to pool up, and so will the bodies. Look at this, little Timmy. Oh my, you're going to have a field day today. I don't think this is quite deep enough just yet, but yeah, soon it will be rubber dinky time, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I think it almost is in the trenches down here. These Kriegsmen now getting up to their waist in blood as the orks relentlessly keep pushing forward. Look at that. An insane barrage of green, just brutishness, surging forward again. Look at this, trying to outflank the Imperials, and look, oh no, a massive contingent of them went out and wiped out the Imperial battery over here. Yeah, one of the Imperial batteries is down. There's another Imperial battery over here, but one of them has been taken down. A monumental victory there by the orks, who are now going to try to push in to the rear line of the support trench, and they're going to meet firm resistance here from the Kriegsmen who've just watched that happen, and vengeance will be theirs. Look at this. The orks are getting melted now against that front line. Going back over though to our front line, where we can see that the secondary support line is now being engaged and outflanked. The Lehman Russies even having a little bit of a go. The orks have oh my god, so many orks now have died that they can literally path their way down in towards the trench. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh my, look at all the blood as well. Yep, little Timmy, get out your rubber dinghy. In fact, you might need a canal boat for this one. It does look a bit like a canal of death. Cord is looking on in the background, just laughing at this. Imperial Guard, they're on the other side of the trench now, able to put up a stalwart resistance. The orks are going to have to build up their bodies here to be able to get up to them, or use the narrow galleyways at the side here, which are really covered quite heavily by Imperial Guardsmen, as these orks over here are finding out. Going back over, though, to our secondary line, it does look like then that a lot of the orks have managed to collapse the Guardsmen that was stuck out on the other side. However, yet again, the ones on the background just laying down the smackdown right into these orc lines as the bodies really start to pile up in our trenches here. The orcs making their way through bit by bit. You can see their jump back jet infantry just landing in amongst all of the kriegsmen. The kriegsmen still pumping out that firepower, even with the front line disintegrating as it is. We have still got the artillery support, though, coming in. That is vital for this side of the line at the moment. Should that artillery be wiped out right now, that would basically be the collapse of this line. You can see that the kriegsmen are really holding this, though. I'm actually mega amazed at this at the moment. Oh, no. It looks like the orcs have finally started to pile up the corpses enough now to be able to get up to the other side. And they are having a field day with some of these guardsmen. Just pouring over the breach now that they've made out of corpses. Oh my god. But we are still holding. This center area here is just an absolute crossfire of death for the orcs to push into, as they're currently finding out over this side. They are doing it again. Sheer weight of numbers from Ghazghkull's army here is really helping them to get. Look at this. Look at all these bodies. The corpses of the orcs just rolling down here is absolutely stupendous. The kill counter needs something like 1,000 a second almost. The kriegsmen here have really put in the work so far. Ghazghkull's going to have his work cut out if he wants to take the rest of Armageddon with these kind of losses. Does look like we've lost a lot of our Leman Russes, if not all of them at this point. But the first line is still holding. Again, look at all the blood. It's now formed an impassable river for the orcs. That is literally what's going on here now. The orcs having to build up bodies once again to get past it. It does look like, though, that the support line over this side is slowly but surely starting to fall. Yet again, though, the blood just keeping the orcs at bay. Is this part of the Imperial Guard tactic to fill up the trenches with blood just to make it impassable to the orcs? You're going to have to drown in your own comrades' blood if you want to get over there. Going back over to this side, though, it does look like the Imperial Guard are also suffering some of that same fate. My god, the amount of dead here. Let's just stick it in slow motion a second. Look at this. That's insane. It's just a cascading waterfall of orc corpses at the moment down this area. Nobs, choppers, storm boys, and shooters alike, all just tumbling down. Oh my, absolutely fantastic stuff here. Imperial Guard then have got about halfway through the orc forces that have been sent to capture this foothold. They are still holding out. They are still killing orcs by the thousands, but the orc numbers here are slowly but surely starting to catch up with them, with only 9,000 Imperial Guardsmen remaining here, making their last stand. 37,000 kills now to the orcs, but that is one hell of a kill ratio so far to the kriegsmen. I mean, look at all the corpses of the orcs now. The trenches are just a wash of death. Blood has covered every inch of them. Look at this, when we zoom out, look at all that. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Let's go take another swim down here. Oh, little Timmy. You really want to be careful if you go swimming in here. I do love how the orcs literally had to build up the corpses, though, to be able to get to the other side. It's been an effective tactic. It's worked in this one area, and they've pretty much done it really well over here as well. The orcs then pouring through at least the first trench line now. Now they've got to get through the support line trench. Again, though, it looks like the shooters are really starting to do the work here. The guardsmen distracted with all the melee combatants at the moment, unable to target the shooters. Again, orcs trying to go in for the flank over here, right into the side of the support trench. The support trench is holding firm for now. It is getting flanked from all sides, though, as the orcs now start to envelop our little stronghold here at the center. Oh my god, this is brutal frontline fighting down here in the trenches. The orcs not relenting at all, but neither are our kriegsmen. The corpses of the orcs falling on top of them, not really bothering them at all, as we come down to our last 3,500 kriegsmen here. Like I said, they've killed over half of the orcs, though, considering how few in number they really were. There was, what, 50, 60,000 of them? I think there was about 65,000 of them, something like that. Against, it was like 2 million orcs. So this front line really held firm. It's just a shame that so many of them died to the first rock that hit. Oh well, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen, but our kriegsmen, undeterred by the losses of their fellow guardsmen, atoning for their sins against the Emperor here, are not going to give up any ground or falter. They are going to take as many of these orcs to the grave with them as possible. So now for the kriegsmen, it is just a case of how many can we kill before we are wiped off the face of Armageddon. And ladies and gentlemen, I've got to say, they are putting up a defiant stand here, considering how few of them they actually are. 1,000 basically of them now. Just look at the kill counter still rocketing up here. It is stupendous what they're actually able to achieve, these guys. Stick a last rifle in their hand and a shovel in the other, and the kriegsmen will go to work. Give them some artillery backup, and the day is pretty much won in 90% of cases. Unfortunately, we all know that in the third war of Armageddon, it was a very, very beleaguered front line. In fact, basically, Gaskell almost actually did it. But ladies and gentlemen, look at this, coming to a close here now. Our last few guardsmen have been overwhelmed, but they made an excellent kill count for themselves, ladies and gentlemen. But we are going to end this one here. As always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A massive shout out to all our channel members who help to keep this channel going. Thank you very much for your continued support. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below. And while you're at it, why not go ahead and check out our Quillercast? With all that being said, as always, until next time, peace.